So I'll quickly start off. First of all, coming to, I think, the two main topics, of course, the new MPV and also the pricing for Jimny.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the name of the MPV first. And I would really like to listen from you what the name means and what's the entire Maruti Suzuki reasoning behind it.
The Invicto name is a Latin word. It comes from the Latin word called Invictus. Now that means undefeated, invincible. And I think this is the reason why this product is associated with this name, is because this product will also be very good, because it has the comfort, the spaciousness, and also the great performance. So I think that is why this word was chosen as the name for the premium MPV, the Invicto.
Okay. And Shashank, can you tell us a bit about this segment? Because this is the first time you're going to enter this segment. So what's the size of the segment? And more importantly, what kind of numbers or what kind of percentage are you looking at this segment with the Invicto?
Yeah, so traditionally we have been looking at segments in terms of SUV separately, MPV separately. MPV as a segment, has been growing. It was just about 6% or thereabouts in 10 years back. It's now 9%. But the volumes were 1,62,000 10 years back. They have crossed the 3,40,000 last year. So it's a very big segment, growing segment. Maruti Suzuki has 50% of this share with the XL6 and the Ertiga. But that is MPV. And this also is about MPV, but with a, a twist. What is the twist? The twist is in our research, we found that the 3-row MPV and SUV customer there seems to be a very strong cross consideration, which means typically they are behaving in a similar way. So the traditional thought of MPV separately and SUV separately seems to disappear or fade away, or they become hazy, and there seems to be a segment developing which is like a 3-row segment. So 3-row SUV MPV put together, that's about 2,58,000 last year was the segment size, expected to be around 300,000 this year. But in the greater than 20 lakh, this size would be around a lakh 5,000. This is where Maruti Suzuki will be participating in.
And the other thing I wanted to ask Shashank is that, with the Invicto, if you look at the donor vehicle, there is already a big demand for the donor vehicle. And there is a long backlog of orders as well. So with this car, are you also looking at offering something beyond the rebadging? Is there something you're going to offer in terms of product enhancement, or maybe something different in terms of service enhancement? Anything different that you're trying to offer compared to the vehicle that it's based on?
Yeah, so it's like this. Obviously, the looks will be a little different. How different they will be, you will see when we actually show you the vehicle on the 5th of July. It's like a Glanza or a Baleno also looks are different. Like a High Rider or a Vitara, the looks are a little different. And similar sort of thing we will try to do for the Invicto as well. So yes, the looks will be a little different. Absolutely.
Okay. And considering that this is a much pricier vehicle, a very different customer compared to, say, the Grand Vitara or a Baleno customer, anything different on terms of service as well that you're looking at?
No, so actually, we will be launching it through the Nexa channel.
Yeah.
Nexa has a very high standard in terms of both aspirational aspect as well as the customer experience of purchase and service. So I think those common values will be available for the Invicto as well. And as regards the extra offerings, beyond the product, obviously brand is more than just the product. People would look at our network, our infrastructure, our customer focus, our systems and processes, which also form part of the brand experience. And I think that is where Maruti Suzuki does very well, because on overall brand experience, we do provide beyond just the product. So the good products obviously is a must, but beyond that, you have to be good and customer focused if you are able to give the consumers the experience that they want.
And there's already, like I said earlier, there's a long waiting list for the original donor vehicle. So of course, when you come out with the new model, there will be an opportunity for people who are right now having to wait for say a year to shift to this and get the same vehicle. But how well are you prepared in terms of capacity to handle that kind of a shift with the waiting periods and all? How are you prepared to handle that?
Yeah, so normally, if you see the last 2 years, there have been occasions because of semiconductor supply component issue where Baleno has a big waiting, and however the production would be divided between the Glanza and the Baleno. Same was working for Brezza and the urban cruiser. Same is working today for Vitara also, by the way, because Vitara and Hyderabad both have waiting periods, and we have to divide the production available between the two. Same thing will happen for the Invicto as well, where basis a rolling projection plan, mutually a consensus is arrived at what will be supplied from the production which is possible. That is what will apply for Invicto as well.
And I'll now shift to Jimny.
Yes.
So Jimny, the pricing of Jimny, the positioning of Jimny, I know that when your communication with the Jimny during the drive, during the launch, was that it's for a certain type of customer, more of a lifestyle customer.
Correct.
There has been a mixed feedback from various sections on the pricing front. So can you explain to us, with the kind of positioning it has, do you see this as a little too much of a limitation, because it's petrol only vehicle with a 4-speed automatic in the 80 version, and there is no option to have it without a 4x4, and then now the price wherein it's on the heels of its larger sort of indirect rivals, not direct rivals. So what is the long-term thing you see, and what was the rationale behind this pricing?
Yeah, it's a great question, because, obviously these are questions we grappled with at the time when we decided on the pricing. And truly for a product like Jimny, which is like built on that image of off-roading, real great reliability and working in all possible terrains, I think a 4-wheel drive is a must. And therefore we ruled out the 2-wheel drive option, and we said let's go ahead with 4-wheel drive option only. And having said that, when we look at the it also has to be uncomplicated. You can't have it's not a mass vehicle, and as you rightly pointed out, it is more of a lifestyle, more of a niche product. Therefore it can't have that complicated variants of hundreds of variants. You need to limit it, and that's what we have done. The choice is automatic or manual, and within each category, a high end and a low end. That's it. So it really depends, and we thought it's uncomplicated for the category that it belongs to. And on the price front, as you said, mixed reaction came in. A lot of people said, oh, the starting price is very high. A Thar starts at 1054, yours starts at 2074. So really, it's like very expensive. But I think as the consumers went into greater detail, like to like, they found that the Jimny is actually priced lower than its competitor. For example, the Alpha 80, which is priced, Jimny is priced at 1489. A corresponding Thar vehicle is at 1610,000. That is like 1,21,000 more expensive. So Jimny is cheaper in that sense, even from it. So I think when the consumers went into these details, they found that this pricing is not what it appeared to at the first sight, and that is why we see that after we launched when we announced the prices, it was 7th of June till today, 7 to 13. We have seen an average booking of about 151 per day, whereas previous to the announcement, it was 92 per day. So then 92 per day has become 151 per day, which means that consumers have, when they went into retail, thought that this was a good price, and therefore you see the actual number of bookings going up.
So if I'm not wrong, Shashank, I think at the time of launch, it had some 27,000.
Correct.
Something like that. In that
exactly. Range. So now it is 31,000, slightly above 31,000.
Slightly above 31,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of supply, again, any challenges in terms of supply on the Jimny front?
Yes, so we started the Jimny dispatches from 1st of June only, and from 9th we have had the block. We have a maintenance shutdown every year, 2 times, June and December. The June the shutdown started 9th, and will resume on 19th the production. So we'll try to ramp up the production, but at the current level, it looks like a 7-8 months type of waiting period at the moment. But obviously, we'll have a much better idea once we know about the ramp up plan, which should happen, once the factory reopens on the 19th.
And after the price announcement, now where does the split between the 80 and the manual stand?
So earlier it was 50-50, but now there seems to be a slight drop in the in the 80. And a slight increase in the MT. So there seems to be a clear positive bias in favor of MT now, which was like 50-50 before the price was announced, but not by so much. So we still have a very close numbers for both MT and MT.
Just one thing, Shashank, now with the the price of the Jimny coming in, and how it has turned out to be. Do you see, can we expect probably a 2-wheel version, or is Maruti completely close to that? I mean, so is that something that can be looked at? Because I'm sure there's a lot of excitement with the body style, the design, but probably is it also to, in a way, maybe safeguard Brezza and other models from cannibalization, where you expect too many people to just suddenly shift to a rear-wheel drive Jimny?
Yeah, so at the moment we have no plans for a two-wheel drive option, and as I said, that the basic the brand value for the Jimny actually comes from the off-roading, which requires that 4-wheel drive. So at the moment we have no such plan, but of course we keep watching the situation and how the segment develops, and then accordingly tweak if required our variant-wise strategy.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Shashank.
Thank you.